At first, I thought the Knell was going to be a pretty decent weapon, but looking through some of the other stuff in here, I mean, I once compared it to a Murloc, but to be fair, the Murloc's a status, so this is more of a crit, which throws it into the Lex domain, and I'm sorry, but the Lex has way more crit chance and way more crit multiplier. Okay, slower fire rate, but it also has 8 times the magazine, so yeah. Reload's much slower though. The reload on the Knell is quicker because it's a 1-round gun, and pretty much nothing else that you have has got such a small magazine. 8 4s, that's an 80, so that one completely doesn't count. Nothing really has a 1, and the dual wielding stuff is just kind of weird. Even the Vaco, well, when it comes to the status, it's way better, but, well, this thing's more of a crit build. The big problem I've come across is you kind of have 0 polarities on this when you start out. 180 platinum to buy, or the build costs, okay, I want to say it's not really that much, but 20,000 salvage, 3,800 cryotic, 5,200 rapido. Yeah, they're actually quite expensive. 2 Orgone crystals aren't that hard to get a hold of, but at least the rest of it stacks. The Orgone crystals will expire, so that's a bit of a pain. But with no former on it, that's pretty expensive. I'll admit, the first time I used this, I was onto my second V polarity I was putting onto this before I realised that upon landing the headshot, you get basically unlimited ammo. This is why it's a one-shot weapon, or a one-round weapon I should say. It basically changes the entire scope or the reticle or the screen, however you want to put that, every time you land a headshot. And I do believe it's called the Penitence buff that allows you to be able to do this, and basically for 3 seconds you will no longer consume ammo. This is great. This was the saving feature of this weapon. The first former was just a case of, well, I'll make it a little bit stronger. The second one, I was going into it thinking I'm not wasting any more time on this. This is a completely horrible weapon. Then I realised this was actually a thing. Even when it was active, because it fired 1 round, I was just firing 1 round. I felt rather stupid and actually laughed when I realised it actually did this. This is why you should really kind of read the description of a weapon, because if you actually read it, it actually says this scoped pistol into it briefly turns this scoped pistol into a rapid fire crit damage fiend that uses no ammo. This is the first weapon that actually truly has a infinite ammo aspect to it, but that's only if you can land those headshots. The multiplier buff that comes from this when you land those headshots, it increases it to 1.5, then to 2, and apparently the max it will go is 2.5. It's actually very well indicated how close you're getting through the scope of this thing. The scope on this is amazing actually, and I can see this synergizing very well with Harrow and his abilities, because some of his abilities are based on headshots. I did put 3 former into this. That was another one after I realised that I'd been using the weapon completely wrong. And it's basically just for Hornet Strike, primed pistol gambit for crit chance, and primed target cracker for crit damage. Then through barrel diffusion, and of course sharpened bullets for the extra crit damage, and hydraulic crosshairs for that extra crit chance. These 2 mods and these 2 mods are what made it useful. Lethal Torrent isn't really worth putting on this simply because fire rate of 1 round, yeah, they're kind of useless. Plus, if you want multi-shot, barrel diffusion is better in here, simply because you could former this another twice, and I'll take these out because it doesn't affect the stats, to increase the actual elemental damage side of this by putting full-on elemental mods in. And again, I've just got corrosive thrown in here. But you can see it only takes it to 1,900 from 1,267. It's not a giant increase, but it is a huge decrease. It more than halves the status effect. So I left these in, and to be fair, I probably will at some point, sometime in the future, put maybe one. Actually, I have to take that back out. One of these back in to slightly increase it. That was not the correct one. But the status goes down just a little bit too much, so I kind of settled on this, and it works fairly well. Of course, with this being the first, I don't want to say a real attempt at an infinite ammo weapon, because there was that. What is the best way to put that thing? The Cycron? That had infinite ammo because it ran on a battery that recharged over time. Whereas this thing, if you don't land those headshots, you have 11 chances to do it. If you don't land it, you will run out of ammo. And this thing can actually run out of ammo. You still need to pick ammo up. So it's not true infinite ammo. But if you can land that headshot and you keep the headshot going, that 3 seconds from landing the headshot of infinite ammo could last a long time. Because obviously if you land another one, the 3 seconds starts over again. I did hear rumours that it can stack, so if you land 3 or 4 headshots really quickly together, the 3 seconds can stack up to 12 seconds or higher. From trying this out, I didn't see that work, and after 3 seconds it went away. Before the last update, unless they do another update before I actually upload this video, it was kind of buggy where I actually had it stuck in infinite ammo mode the whole way through the mission. That was really lucky. It's not supposed to do that. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. I'm actually enjoying this weapon, and I think I'll leave it equipped for a little bit longer. I just wish I could aim a little bit better. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.